Hi there. I'm going to talk to you about my tips for passing the BCBA exam on your first try. So I'm really happy that you're taking the exam, first of all, and it's going to open so many doors and it's going to be so great and you're going to pass the first time. So don't worry. No worries. Some of my tips are related to mindset because I believe over 50% of passing the exam or any exam really is your mindset. What is up here when you're taking the test, when you're studying for the test? So you want to make sure your positive mindset, you're saying you're going to pass, you're talking to yourself and giving yourself all those affirmations that you need to do, because a lot of it is just remembering the things that you already know. So please do that. Treat yourself good and talk to yourself well. And then 2 to 3 weeks prior, I want you to be fully studied. Get to your last topic by 2 to 3 weeks prior, at least 2 weeks prior. Try not to get any more new information after that. So that means if you're doing your little schedule, you need to move it up a little bit if you haven't already, to be already finished with all the topics by 2 to 3 weeks prior. And when you're at this point, this is more the fine-tuning point. So you're going to take mock exams like crazy. I paid for a lot of the better mock exams. I'm not sure what's out there now, but I know that when I was taking the test, I did have to purchase some. There were some free ones that I took that were not very similar to the exam in my opinion. And then there were the paid ones that were very similar to what I saw on the day of my exam. So please do your research, take a lot of the mock exams that 2 to 3 weeks prior, and know your learning style. So if your learning style is kinesthetic, make sure you study the concepts that you're having hard times with and then apply if you're a kinesthetic learner. If you're auditory visual learner, you can watch videos on it. Or if you like to talk things out with a friend, make sure that you do what works best for you a lot during that period. So you're reviewing mainly the topics that are hard for you during this time. And it's not that you're relearning them, but you might want to go back in from the basic to the more complex and kind of play with the topic a little bit more and take it on from different angles. The more different angles you can see it from, the more ingrained it will be in your head. Okay, and then 2 to 3 days before, I have another note about that. If you learn best with flashcards, do that. Do whatever works for you, but make sure you're focusing on the things that you really wouldn't like to touch. Those things that you know are your weak spots. 2 to 3 days before, you're training for like a marathon. A test is a mental marathon. So eat the best you've ever eaten, drink the best you've ever drunk, I'm not sure. And try and treat your body like it's really a temple at this point. You're just gonna be cleansing and meditating and praying and doing everything that you can to be in the best shape of your life physically before the test. And then one day before, I want you to go easy on your studying. So if you're studying, I'm a type of person that I would like to study until 5 minutes before I take the test. Why? I'm not sure. It's not that I'm learning anything new. It just kind of keeps me focused on the test. And then not worrying, because when you're focused on something, you tend to not worry about other things, or well, at least I do. I focus, and it's like a hyper focus where I'm not thinking about anything else. So that's why I study right up until 5 minutes before the test. But if that stressed you out, then don't do it. Try and go take a run, take a hike, go out with a friend, see a movie, I don't know, get a manicure, pedicure, whatever you do that would relax you and feel good to you. Do that the day before. A lot of people are of the school that you don't study the day before. That's fine. Whatever you feel works for you, right? Okay. But definitely de-stress that day. Whatever that will de-stress you. Okay, and then the day of the test, You gotta figure out what you want to write on your whiteboard. Maybe before the day of the test, you want to do that. I didn't really overcomplicate my whiteboard. I wrote the numbers and then I wrote a check if it was definitely, I'm not gonna go check this answer. I know it. Boom, this one is in the basket. This is a hole in one. I check those, check. And then the ones I wasn't sure about, I forget what other symbol, but I put an other symbol. And the ones that I definitely didn't know if that was the right answer, I put a minus because I know I'm gonna have to come back to this number for sure before the end of the test. And I finished early and I have plenty of time left over. So do what works for you. But I think for me, simplifying it, just writing the numbers, the check, the other symbol, and then the minus was a good thing for me to manage my time and stuff like that. Don't overdo it when you're thinking for the test because you might overthink it. So don't do that. Try and do that little marcation if that works for you, if that's something that you've done. And then the day of the test, of course, try and wake up early. Make sure you've practiced waking up early if you don't usually. Do something healthy in the morning. Have a good breakfast. Drink coffee. I went to a restaurant which opened, it's 24 hours. And I had breakfast and I opened all my books in the world and I spread them out on the table. I made a big deal out of it in the morning because I kind of wanted to have that ritual before I went into the test. So whatever ritual you feel like would work for you, do that morning. And another tip I have, if you're worried about something else that has nothing to do with the test, there's nothing that you can do about it on that day. So just write it on a piece of paper. Like say, I don't know, I have an overdue bill, whatever you have. So put it down on a piece of paper, close it. That way you're not thinking about it. Put it back in your locker or away from you during the test. The only thing you want to be focused on during the test is just passing the test, answering what you know. And you will pass. So actually, don't focus on passing the test. Focus on showing what you know, which is everything that you need to know to pass the test. All right, happy test taking. And let me know if you need some more tips or if you would like to talk out any of the concepts closer to the test. I'll be a perfect person to go back and forth with concepts that is troubling you. So just let me know. All right, take care.